Dismembered remains of missing woman found in camper van on anniversary. In October 2021, a young couple drove to rural Vermont to celebrate their one-year wedding anniversary. Joseph and Emily Fazzo had planned a 2-day trip with some family members. Traveling in a camper van they affectionately named Roaming Rosie. What seemed like a romantic getaway quickly turned into a nightmare when on the second day, Joseph appeared at breakfast without Emily. She didn't appear all day. And when family inquired, he simply said she wasn't feeling well or they had argued. Behind these ordinary explanations, something horrific had occurred in the camper van. What Joseph didn't tell anyone was that he had killed his wife, dismembered her body, and hidden the parts in 8 garbage bags. In late summer, after just a few months of knowing each other, the couple had gotten engaged. When they became engaged in September 2020, Emily shared a Facebook post about people's negative comments regarding their engagement. The post read, "When someone gets engaged, buys a house, gets married, has a baby, learn to say, 'Congratulations,' and nothing else." It seems people had commented on her engagement to Joseph, criticizing it. He was twice her age and they had only been dating for 4 months. Unsurprisingly, friends and family had something to say about this, but she ignored them, and in October 2020, she married him. Together, Joseph and Emily bought an old bus and began renovating it with hopes of living in it as a camper van. In early 2021, they moved to live on Emily's parents' property to save on rent and also so Emily could have additional support in navigating her new marriage, which wasn't as happy as she had hoped. With a population of 1.310 people, Bolton, Vermont is known primarily as a ski resort. It sits at the foot of the Green Mountains, surrounded by forests and valleys. This was an ideal retreat for a couple who enjoyed outdoor activities. But this trip would be anything but ideal. Emily seemed anxious about going away with her husband. Her mother commented, "Emily was excited to see her sister-in-law, but she seemed to take more time preparing for the bus." This is understandable given the issues they were having. Far from the image of happy newlyweds, Joseph and Emily went on their anniversary trip as a couple on the brink. Joseph's sister, Nicole, and her boyfriend, Ariel, also joined the trip. They stayed in an Airbnb in Bolton to celebrate Ariel's birthday as well as Emily and Joseph's wedding anniversary. Both couples arrived in Bolton on Friday, October 15th, planning to leave on Sunday after a fun weekend of walking, hiking, eating, and enjoying the surroundings. According to court records, on the first night, Joseph and Emily argued instead of going inside and spending time with his sister. They argued because Joseph had brought Emily to the exact apartment complex where his ex-wife lived on their one-year wedding anniversary. They also argued because Joseph seemed to believe he had no obligation to be faithful to his wife. Emily told him she was done, didn't want to be with him anymore, and wanted to leave. Joseph acted completely normal on Saturday morning. He greeted his sister in the morning with a message, "I just made coffee. I can bring you some." When his sister asked where Emily was, he said she was sleeping. They went for breakfast. He ate and had a mimosa. They planned to go to St. Albans, where another friend of his lived. He tattooed his sister and they went to dinner in St. Albans that evening. The truth was, before these normal activities took place, Joseph had killed Emily. According to prosecutors, he took his Glock 19 with a silencer attached, put a pillow over Emily's face, and shot her twice in the head. He then turned off Emily's phone because, according to him, he wouldn't be using it and neither would she. Joseph used his 198-pound body to move Emily's 130-pound corpse into the bathroom. He packaged up the bloody pillows, pillowcases, and sheets and left Emily's shoes, glasses, wallet, and phone in a plastic bag but carefully kept her ID. He replaced the sheets, blankets, and pillows on the bed. Then, he went back to the very bed where he had just killed his wife and just hours later. At 7:48 a.m., while his wife's body was in the bathroom, he texted his sister, "I can't sleep. Do you want to go for breakfast?" Joseph's cover-up didn't stop at maintaining normalcy and continuing daily activities. After killing Emily, he moved the camper van from Bolton to St. Albans, parking it on his best friend's property. Instead of telling them that Emily was in the van, that he had killed her, he said she had left. He then set up the tattoo and began tattooing his sister. but not before sending a message to Emily's phone. "No worries. I'll hang with Nikki when I can. Call me." 3 hours later, he completed the tattoo for his sister, and an hour after that, he went to eat again. This time at a restaurant in St. Albans. He had dinner, drinks, and was driven back to his accommodation. And he once again slept in the van with Emily's body still in the bathroom. The next day, he went to Burlington with his sister, had coffee, and once again went to eat. On the way back to St. Albans, he stopped at a store to buy bleach because although he continued his life as if nothing had happened, he still had a mess to clean up. Even more horrifically, he decided that he needed to make her body easy to carry, move, and dispose of. He used a hacksaw to cut off Emily's arms, legs, feet, and head. Her torso was stabbed up to 18 times, including 1 stab to the heart, 8 stabs to the abdomen, and 9 stabs to the back. He then placed each part of her body in garbage bags. On Monday morning, before leaving for New Hampshire to pick up his Jeep, which he said was necessary to bury Emily's body in the woods, he couldn't contain himself, knowing exactly where she was and what he had done to her. He sent a final message to her phone: "I don't deserve this." Finally, on October 19th, Joseph was arrested. He confessed to his crime without much explanation. "As soon as I parked the car, my wife went completely crazy, completely psychotic, and I shot her." He painted a picture of a romantic weekend that ended horribly due to his wife's ungratefulness. He suggested that he didn't know what he was doing when he picked up the gun. Nevertheless, he didn't accept his guilt. In December 2024, Joseph was put on trial for murder. Here, his story changed. He didn't deny that he killed Emily, but now he claimed it was in self-defense. He said Emily attacked him when he went for the gun, and she said, "That's enough, you're dead," and began to pull out her own gun from under the pillow, as these were people who slept with guns under their pillows. Joseph claimed that he came from a violent background. His mother beat him regularly, which according to him led him into a series of toxic relationships as an adult. He said Emily was part of this pattern and her violence was affecting their future together. But all his claims contradicted what he had done after killing his wife. He had tried to conceal his crime and even dismembered his wife for easy disposal. His testimony was confused, contradictory, and full of inserted moments where he tried to show feelings of guilt and sadness. After 5 hours of deliberation, the jury found Joseph guilty of first-degree murder in December 2024. Rejecting his self-defense testimony, they could also have considered 2 lesser charges of second-degree murder or heat of passion manslaughter. But they chose neither, concluding he was guilty of the most serious charge. Currently, Joseph is sitting in jail awaiting sentencing. His mandatory minimum sentence is 35 years in prison. Meanwhile, Emily's family continues to grieve her tragic death. Emily's short life is a reminder of the importance of recognizing and responding to signs of domestic violence, and of the need for strong support systems for those living in abusive situations. While it wasn't possible to save Emily, her story may help raise awareness and prevent similar tragedies in the future.